All right. Hello. We are going to be doing the last and final debate. So let's get started. Um, okay. Just let me know when you're ready. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to start now. All right. So what I'm going to be doing is first telling you what daylight savings time is. Then I will go into different points explaining why we should get rid of daylight savings time. So yeah. Alrighty, let's do this. First, daylight savings time was enacted in the U.S. in 1918 as a way of conserving energy to support the military and the war effect. It was and the war. It was repealed a year later. Then it was reestablished during World War II, and they decided to keep daylight saving time in 1996. All right. So, procon.com states daylight savings time is bad for your health. Changing sleep patterns, even by 1 hour, has a negative consequences when it comes to your health. One study found that the risk of heart attack increases by 10% the first Monday and Tuesday following the spring forward. And during the fall back, there is a spike in headaches as well. Another thing is it drops productivity. The spring is the first day of the first the first day of the spring forward is called Sleepy Monday because it's the most sleep deprived day of the entire year. Gotta love that. Dr. Till Ronenberg, a German biologist who studies the relation or who studies the body with light and dark. He notes that that it's really hard for us to adjust to daylight savings time, and the consequences are basically what I said is a decrease in productivity, also an increase in you basically there's a higher chance for you to get sick. um, and you're just plain tired. Also, daylight savings time is expensive. As crazy as that sounds, it is. William F. Shernett II, he's a PhD economics teacher at the university or the Utah State University. Yeah. And states that it's costing Americans $1.7 billion to change all the clocks each time in the spring and in the fall. Also, according to the sorry. According to the last hour economics index, moving the clocks forwards costs the U.S. economy around 434 million dollars. All right. Also, fastcompany.com states that according to the marketplace, the premise of daylight saving time totally backfired on the get-go, and people just used more energy later. But the U.S. has been stuck with the whole spring forward, fall back thing ever since the U.S. Congress officially expanded it by 4 weeks in 2004. That said, a few states like Arizona and Hawaii, and most U.S. territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, the Virgin Islands, and America's Soma already skip seasonal clock flipping. Now a petition circulating that could abolish daylight saving time, and it already has 165,000 100,000 signatures. People have signed it and sent messages to the member of Congress to do away with the practice. Also, they're not alone in their dislikes of the seasonal clock change. Currently, there is legislation in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho to do away with the daylight savings time. And California voters already did away with the clock flipping and are waiting for the state reps to finish it off. Florida passed the Sunshine Protection Act last year, but Congress has blocked the move or at least failed to pick it up. All right. An article on insider.com states that car accidents and vehicle crashes also increase the days following daylight savings time in the spring. In 2014, in his 2014 paper, The Relationship Between Daylight Savings Time and Fatal Car Crashes, Austin C. Smith, an assistant professor of economics of Miami University, reports a 6.3 increase in fatal car accidents for the 6 days following the springtime change. Smith provides two main reasons for the spikes of car accidents. Daylight savings times not only interrupts sleeping patterns, but it modifies the relationship between clocks and solar times. Drivers drowsier than usual must acclimate. Must acclimate, to darker mornings and lighter evenings. Also, seasonal effects, seasonal affective disorder (SAD) can be caused by daylight savings time. When daylight savings time ends, the shift of shorter days with fewer hours of sunlight can trigger seasonal affective disorders, a condition that affects $1.6 billion or 6 billion people worldwide. What's my time?
You're good.
Okay. And a Danish study.
You're past.
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. I didn't realize.
Okay, great. Would you like to go into cross?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's start the 2 minutes. So, as I must ask you, have you yourself personally ever stayed up longer than expected? Like maybe even pulled an all-nighter?
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes after, pulling those all-nighters, do you ever feel fatigued afterwards?
Yeah.
Like the day after? So you would say that like trying to adjust or lack of sleep causes fatigue or sickness?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it makes sense that when people adjust for one night for daylight savings, the next day or a few days, they feel not as good, maybe fatigued like you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So my next question is, how does daylight savings actually cost Americans $34 million, like directly?
Mm-hmm. Well, that is a wonderful question, and I will answer it. Basically, it costs them so much money in the way of, I would say, technological wise, I guess, as all the clocks have to switch using that are connected to the internet.
Okay, well, a lot of my research has noted that it would actually save energy, which ultimately saves money. So what does your research say about like the 34 million specifically? Do you have any like info on why we're spending so much money just for changing the time?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's all good. All right, finally, I believe our time is actually about to be up. Is it yours good or is it mine?
Yeah, mine just finished.
Cool. Great. So we will go into our negative constructive.
Are you going to time yourself on this one, or do you want me to time you?
I could time it, like whatever is chilling.
Okay.
Thank you. Great. So today is our last day of school, or at least just for us. Well, a lot of schools have already entered summer, and a lot of students are enjoying the summertime. And as it begins, everyone is so excited to enjoy their time outside. But little do people realize, summertime is basically when daylight savings makes and allows us individuals to make the best use of the light outside. As daylight saving refers to the change in the clock hour, maybe even twice a year, the reasons we should keep daylight savings is really not only just to enjoy more time outside, but according to American Home Shield, one, daylight savings actually minimizes energy consumption, and two, it reduces car accidents. And finally, there also has been statistics to prove that crime rates have dropped when daylight savings is finally implemented. So, since individuals are more active and more likely to be active when daylight saving is implemented, there's more sun for them to enjoy, then there's really less need for the energy use inside because they're enjoying the daylight instead of artificial light. So when this summertime and light savings is actually in action, the indoor lights, like I said, are completely less necessary because the sun is basically out till 8 p.m. and people are outside biking, scootering, enjoying their time, and not watching TV. Secondly, majority of my research from either Stanford University or even Time and Debate have mentioned that because there is more daylight, citizens are able to see when they're driving. And because there's better daylight when they're driving and they're not driving in the dark, the car accident rates have decreased. And my third point touches upon the statistics of crime rates. So these rates have also significantly dropped. I said, not only are people outside and enjoying their daylight more, but it's more difficult for criminals to necessarily get away in the dark. So according to our, debate.org and also the American Home Shield, it states that an average of 7% of robbery rates fell after daylight when daylight savings was implemented, whereas 27% of the robbery rates also decreased when the daylight was in action and the daylight savings, like I said, was also implemented. So overall, these three arguments stating that, yes, we have more time outside and we're saving energy. Two, that car accident rates have decreased, and same with crime rates have decreased. In a combination of other arguments that I have barely or not even touched upon, such as the fact that daylight saving actually gives people more time to sleep, and also it offers the nation global or prosperity, economic prosperity. But overall, these three combinations and the topics I haven't even mentioned are such strong reasons for us to keep wanting to enjoy daylight savings and having light out until 8 rather than cutting it shorter.
Awesome. Right. Okay, I will I will do the 2-minute cross. Sorry, give me one sec. Okay. My first question would be, it would be about Arizona. So Arizona, they don't have any. They don't switch. They don't do the spring forward, fall back. Has that affected them negatively in any sort of way?
There's, I'm sure, some evidence to prove that there could be negatives, more like the fact Arizona itself may have a different time zone, and also the fact that sometimes they will be aligned with us, like our Pacific time, and sometimes they'll be more aligned with different time zones. So that's a little conflicting for them, where they have to try to like alter, like change and know like who are they relating to, where certain shows or certain things online are like, check in at 8 o'clock, but their 8 o'clock might be different from our 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one disadvantage for sure for Arizona.
Yeah. And another question would be, if basically if daylight savings time was more, if more people liked it, why are so many people trying to get rid of it?
Sorry, can you restate that? I don't.
Okay, so like if having daylight savings time is like a pro, then how come a lot of people are trying to like get rid of it?
I mean,
okay, sorry, that's my 2 minutes. All right, and then I will go into the 3-minute. Okay. All right. So, daylight savings time. How I feel that I am winning, or why I should be voted for, is because I feel like the evidence I brought up was pretty insightful. Also, I think that it is important that we realize the disadvantages that there are when it comes to daylight savings time. For instance, the health issue. If we can decrease the rate of heart attacks by 10%, like they are increased in the beginning by 10%, then I feel like that would be the. I'm in class. Sorry. So yeah, if we are able to decrease the rate of heart attacks by 10%, then I feel like that is a good reason to do so. Also, like I said, there is a rate of not per, there is the rate of productivity definitely goes down. So I feel like that is important to say as well. And yeah, that is it. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So my opponent makes some really good points, and as he mentions, he does have some insightful resources, but I do feel the exact same way about arguments where the reasons daylight savings is so necessary is not just because it does one increase crime rates or even it decreases car accidents and energy use. However, it does prosper the economy. I know my opposer says that it kind of reduces the rates of production and like money. However, that is just completely not what my research says and like what common sense would think, because if there's more light outside, people are often more active and doing more things. They're going outside to buy food, outside to buy the necessity thing, necessary resources, whatever they need. So even according to Stanford education, the whole purpose of daylight savings is so that people could truly, yes, enjoy their time outside, because they can't do that when they're at work. You know, they don't have time to enjoy themselves or enjoy the world before work. Therefore, all the hours after 5, leading to even 8 o'clock at night, right? It gives people, offers everybody time to go outside and enjoy activities. And concerning health issues and even sleep, those are very subjective because each individual is extremely different and it is up to them to choose what hour they want to sleep. If they understand that daylight savings is occurring the next day, is it not their responsibility to sleep like an hour ahead or like to watch over themselves to get extra rest? That is where my argument of, you know, have you ever did a all-nighter, you know, did you sleep or not sleep when you weren't supposed to? It refers directly to daylight savings and people's sleeping habits. That has nothing to do with the actual action of changing the clock. Rather, it has more to do with the individual and their actual health. And then although it may, or there are little statistics to show that people could have health issues from it, like I mentioned, this has proven over the centuries, since, like you said, World War II, and then again 1999, it's proven itself to be necessary for our economy to prosper. Thank you.
Go off. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So I will go into my summary. So I feel me and my opponent definitely did bring up both really important topics or points. However, I'm still for the banning of daylight savings time because I do feel that it is important. I think it is really important that we take the rate of the increase of basically, I feel like we need to take the increase of, even though each person is different and each person is different, I feel like it is important that we do see the statistics and make sure people feel important. Also, I think that if we do get rid of the daylight saving time, it really would not make a change. And I feel that I feel, yeah, yep, that's it. That's all. Yeah, that's all. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. All right.
Like and subscribe.
Oh wait, do we?
The voting.
Sorry, almost forgot about y'all.
No. No. So,
Yeah.
okay, so I'll go first. So I wrote down some notes. So basically, for Jake, I agree that it's bad for your health and messes up your sleep schedule. And I do notice that the morning after there is a lot more car accidents, like you said. But for Sam, I also agree that with the sun out later, people are more active. And it is easier to drive because I know for myself, I have really bad eyesight at nighttime. So it is helpful when the sun is out a little longer. You guys both had some really, really good evidence and backed up. And you guys both responded to each other's questions very well. Honestly, this is like a really hard vote because I really don't. I want to vote for both of you guys. Like, is that like possible? But if there was like a ballot in front of me and I were to vote, I think I would want daylight savings just because I like, being able to stay out a little longer, and I feel like I have more to do with my day. I can do more stuff. And then also with daylight savings, I can get up earlier and watch the sunrise. So I feel like I'd have to vote for Sam just because I like daylight savings.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I liked both of your speeches as well. Jake mentioned that daylight savings negatively affected health by increasing the heart attack risk and makes drivers drowsy and makes them at a higher risk of crashing and increases the risk of seasonal affective disorder. And I like that Sam's arguments were well structured, and she when she went through the points, she made sure that she didn't speed through them, and she talked about them thoroughly. And I think she had good research, just as Jake did. And I like that she said that it minimizes energy consumption, and it proves that crime rates drop when daylight savings happens. But yeah, so with that said, even I like both of your arguments, and I think both of you guys made really good points. But I think for this one, if I am being forced to choose just one, I think this time, with the evidence given and all the research, I think I would have to go with Sam. And both of you guys did really well, and I liked both of your evidence though. But yeah, I think Sam would be for me.
Awesome. Congrats, friend.
Thank you. These topics were hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to end this. So
he didn't end it. He just left.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Should I text him?
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Tell him. Oh, this is really big on my face.